Okay, so you're getting ready for this art teacher interview in a secondary school, right?
Yeah.
And you want to stand out.
Absolutely.
We got all these awesome resources from RoleCatcher to help us unpack this.
Yeah, a ton of stuff here.
Career guides, interview questions, even some AI stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do a real deep dive here.
Yeah, let's do it.
So you can walk into that interview feeling super confident.
Definitely more than just reciting facts, right?
Right. It's not just about having the answers memorized.
Yeah, it's about understanding what they're really looking for.
Exactly. The why behind the what.
Exactly.
So let's jump right into some of these interview questions that RoleCatcher provided.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, first one up. How do you structure your art lessons? Seems kind of basic, right?
Yeah, you would think.
But there's got to be more to it.
Oh, there definitely is.
So what are they really trying to figure out with this question?
Well, I think they're looking for organization and methodology.
Oh.
They want to know if you can put together a lesson plan that actually keeps students engaged. Ah, so it's not just listing off the steps.
Right. It's got to be more dynamic than that.
Okay, so like maybe talk about how you think about different learning styles.
Exactly.
Or different ways to present information.
Like visual aids.
Yeah, or even like hands-on activities.
Definitely keep it interesting.
Right. And RoleCatcher had a really good sample answer here.
Oh, yeah. What did they say?
They mentioned starting with a review of the previous material.
Makes sense. Got to build on what they already know.
Right, then you move on and introduce the new concepts.
Okay.
Demonstrate some techniques.
Mm-hmm.
Offer some guided practice.
Wow. So they're not just thrown into the deep end.
Right. And then finally, independent work.
That's a good framework.
Yeah, it is. But make sure to personalize it a bit.
Of course, make it your own.
Now, I bet this question leads perfectly into another one.
What do you think they'll ask?
What do you do when a student is struggling to grasp a technique?
That's a classic.
Right. This one feels like they're testing your patience
Totally.
and your problem-solving skills. Yeah, you got to have a strategy.
So have something specific in mind.
Like breaking down the concept into smaller steps.
Yeah. So it's less overwhelming.
Exactly. Or maybe offer some extra help.
Yeah. One-on-one support.
Tailored to that student's needs.
Really show them you can adapt.
Oh, and don't forget to stay positive.
Right. Nobody wants a teacher who gets frustrated easily.
Exactly. It's about encouraging those aha moments.
Absolutely. Okay. So this next one is very relevant for today's classrooms.
Let me guess, technology.
You got it. How do you integrate technology into your art lessons?
It's not just about using tech for the sake of it, right?
No. You got to show them that you're using it meaningfully.
To actually enhance the learning.
And RoleCatcher suggests mentioning some specific examples.
Okay, like what?
Things like digital drawing software.
Yeah, those are super popular now.
Or maybe online galleries for inspiration.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right. Have you ever used virtual museum tours?
Oh, yeah, those are amazing.
Such a cool way to broaden their horizons.
Yeah, and don't forget about how technology can actually help you tailor the learning to each student.
Okay. Yeah.
Like using online platforms for feedback.
Oh, that's smart.
Or even digital portfolios to show off their work.
So it's really all about showing them you're comfortable with technology.
Yeah, but thoughtful about it.
Right. It's a tool, not the whole lesson.
Exactly. And speaking of tools, how do you assess student progress in art?
Ooh, that's a big one.
Yeah, how do you measure success in art, right?
Right. It's not always a clear-cut answer.
Nope.
So what does RoleCatcher say?
They talk about aligning your assessment with your learning objectives.
Okay, so like if you're focusing on color theory.
Your assessment should reflect that.
Gotcha. So not just a one-size-fits-all.
Right. Different approaches for different goals.
Exactly, like portfolio reviews, peer evaluations,
Right.
even just your observation.
Yeah, get a full picture.
And RoleCatcher actually mentions two specific types of assessments.
Oh, which words?
Formative assessments.
Like in-class feedback, right?
Exactly. And summative assessments.
With clear criteria.
To really see where they land.
Shows you understand the whole spectrum.
All right, moving on to question 4.
Okay, what's this one about?
This one's all about creating a safe and inclusive classroom environment.
Oh, that's so important.
Right, and it goes beyond just being tolerant.
Definitely.
You have to celebrate diversity, include different perspectives,
In the curriculum.
and be proactive about addressing any concerns.
Yeah, be ready to handle anything.
So what kind of answer are they looking for here?
Well, RoleCatcher mentioned setting clear guidelines that emphasize respect.
Right, so everyone knows what's expected.
Exactly, and then incorporating diverse art forms.
So it's not just Western art.
Right, show them you're thinking broadly.
And regularly checking in with students.
To make sure everyone feels comfortable.
Yeah, creating that welcoming space.
Now, I bet they'll have a follow-up for this one.
Oh, what do you think they'll ask?
How would you handle a situation where a student makes a culturally insensitive remark?
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one.
It is, but it's important to show you take it seriously.
So how would you answer that?
Well, you could talk about using it as a teachable moment,
Okay.
or facilitating a discussion,
To help everyone understand.
or even seeking guidance from your colleagues.
So you're not afraid to ask for help.
Right. It's about showing sensitivity and having a plan.
Perfect. All right, let's switch gears a bit.
Sounds good.
Question 5 asks about making connections.
What kind of connections?
Interdisciplinary connections.
Oh, so how do you incorporate other subjects into your art lessons?
Exactly. Breaking down those silos.
Yeah, that can be so engaging for students.
Right. Have you ever collaborated with other teachers?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like maybe a history teacher to explore ancient art?
Oh, I love that idea.
Or a science teacher to talk about light and color?
That's so cool.
It's all about that cross-curricular thinking.
Yeah. Show them you're thinking outside the box.
And RoleCatcher even mentioned using art to explore current events.
Oh, that's powerful.
Right. Imagine students creating artwork about climate change.
Oh, wow. Or social justice movements.
It takes art to a whole new level.
Definitely goes beyond just technique.
They had a really good example, too.
Tell me about it.
Collaborating with the English department,
Okay.
where students created visual interpretations of poems and short stories.
Oh, that's so creative.
Right, bringing language to life.
I love it, but I bet they'll have a follow-up.
Oh, yeah, what do you think?
How do you ensure the art learning objectives are still met
Yeah, good point.
when you're integrating other subjects?
So you have to show them you can balance everything.
It's a balancing act, for sure.
So you might talk about carefully selecting projects.
That align with both subjects,
Exactly. You're still teaching art concepts.
but in a new and exciting way.
Exactly. All right, on to question 6.
Okay, bring it on.
How do you differentiate your instruction for students with diverse learning needs?
That's a core principle of good teaching.
Right. Meeting everyone where they are
RoleCatcher talks about recognizing different learning styles.
and different paces.
Yeah, not everyone learns the same way.
Right. So what kind of strategies can you use?
Well, you could offer tiered assignments.
So different levels of challenge?
Exactly. Or flexible grouping,
Oh, that's a good one.
learning centers.
Individual support
It's all about having a toolbox
of strategies.
ready to go.
And RoleCatcher sums it up perfectly in their sample answer.
Okay, what do they say?
They talk about using tiered assignments, flexible grouping, learning centers, individualize, support the whole shebang.
That covers all the bases.
It does. It really shows that you're proactive and responsive.
I bet they'll ask about classroom management, though.
Oh, yeah, with all those different needs.
How do you manage a classroom where everyone's working at different paces?
Right. That's the real test.
So what do you say?
You can talk about setting clear expectations.
Okay, so everyone knows the rules.
Right. And establishing routines.
So it's not chaotic.
Exactly. And maybe using small group instruction
Oh, that's a good one.
or independent workstations
It's all about creating structure.
while still allowing for that individual learning.
Makes sense. All right, what's next?
Okay. Number 7, how do you incorporate cultural sensitivity and awareness in your art lessons?
Oh, this is a big one these days.
It is. And it goes beyond just including artwork from different cultures.
Definitely. It's got to be more than just token representation.
Right. RoleCatcher emphasizes really infusing your teaching with awareness.
Of the different perspectives and experiences of your students.
Exactly. So it's about the language you use, the materials you select,
Yeah.
the examples you share,
It's all about creating a space where everyone feels seen.
and heard.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher gave a really good starting point for an answer.
What did they say?
They talked about showcasing artists from diverse backgrounds.
Okay, so expose them to a wider range of art
Right. And exploring different art forms.
from different cultures.
Exactly. And encouraging students to connect their own cultural experiences to their artwork.
That's powerful.
It is. But be ready for follow-up questions.
Oh, I'm sure there will be.
Like, how would you handle a situation where a student's artwork is inspired by a culture that's not their own?
The tricky issue of cultural appropriation.
Right. This is your chance to show you can handle that conversation.
So what do you suggest?
You could talk about facilitating a discussion about appreciation versus appropriation.
Okay.
Encourage research from authentic sources.
So they're getting the real story
Exactly. Or even invite guest speakers
from different backgrounds.
to share their perspectives.
That's a great idea.
It's all about showing that cultural sensitivity is more than just words.
It's woven into your practice.
All right, on to a question that's at the heart of art education.
Okay, lay it on me.
How do you foster creativity and innovation in your students?
Ah, that's the million-dollar question.
Right. It goes way beyond technique.
Definitely it's about inspiring them to think outside the box.
Yeah, to take risks.
Express themselves authentically.
And RoleCatcher really emphasizes a safe and supportive environment where it's okay to experiment.
And even make mistakes.
Mistakes are part of the process.
Exactly. So think about using open-ended prompts.
Okay, so they're not just following instructions.
Right. Or maybe collaborative brainstorming sessions.
Ooh. Where they can bounce ideas off each other.
And always celebrate those individual voices.
So everyone feels valued.
It's about showing them that you're not just teaching them to copy.
But follow instructions.
You're teaching them to tap into their own creative potential.
That's the goal.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher provides a great sample response.
Okay, what do they say?
They talk about offering open-ended prompts,
Mm-hmm.
a variety of materials and techniques,
Okay.
and creating a supportive environment where they feel comfortable taking risks.
I like it.
But be ready for those follow-ups.
Well, they'll definitely try to dig deeper.
Like, how do you handle a student who's afraid to take risks?
Oh, that's a common one.
It is. So what do you say?
Well, you could talk about building a relationship with that student,
Okay.
finding out what inspires them,
And gradually introducing new techniques in a safe way.
so they don't feel overwhelmed.
Exactly. Or maybe even incorporate some mindfulness exercises
Ooh, that's interesting.
to help them manage that fear of failure
It's about recognizing that creativity can be scary.
and meeting them where they are.
All right, last question in this set.
Okay, hit me with it.
How do you stay up to date with current trends and developments in art education?
That's all about lifelong learning.
Right. You got to show them you're dedicated to staying current.
So what does RoleCatcher suggest?
They mention attending conferences and workshops,
Okay, makes sense.
subscribing to professional journals,
So you're reading the latest research,
participating in online forums.
staying connected.
It's all about keeping your finger on the pulse.
So what have you done to stay fresh?
I'm always trying new things.
Oh, yeah, like what?
Reading new books, taking online courses, visiting museums.
It's important to stay inspired.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher's sample answer is spot on.
Okay, tell me about it.
They mention conferences, journals, online courses, networking with other teachers, visiting museums and galleries.
That's a comprehensive approach.
It is. And be prepared to give specific examples.
Like a new teaching methodology you've tried.
Or a cool tech tool you've integrated.
Or maybe even a contemporary art movement you've introduced.
It shows you're not just aware of trends.
You're actually using them.
Okay, so we just walked through a ton of questions
9 to be exact.
with insights from RoleCatcher.
And some potential follow-ups.
But prepping for an interview is more than just having the right answers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you with your delivery.
Really? Okay, tell me more about that.
Let's talk AI. What makes it such a valuable tool?
It's all about taking everything we just talked about and making sure you can actually deliver it. RoleCatcher's AI is like having your own personal interview coach.
Oh, wow.
You start by recording yourself answering these common questions.
So you get used to the format,
Exactly.
work out the nerves, all in a low-pressure setting.
Right.
That's smart.
Yeah, but it gets even cooler.
Oh, how so?
The AI actually analyzes your video.
Whoa, hold on.
It looks at everything.
Like what?
Your body language,
Yeah.
your tone of voice, even the content of your answers.
Wow, so it's like having a panel of experts giving you feedback.
But it's all AI.
That's got to be a little nerve-wracking.
It can be, but it's so helpful.
Okay.
It might point out things like filler words, like,
Oh, yeah, I hate those.
or maybe if you're not making enough eye contact,
Oh, okay.
or if your answers are too long or could be more impactful.
So it's not just about what you say.
Right, it's how you say it.
And RoleCatcher's AI helps you fine-tune all those little things.
That can make a big difference.
I love that. And you can practice as many times as you want.
Exactly. Keep going until you feel confident.
It's like having unlimited do-overs.
Before the real deal.
Speaking of the real deal, we talked earlier about passion for art education, which can be hard to convey in an interview.
Definitely.
So how does AI help with that?
Well, AI can help you refine your delivery,
Okay.
but the passion itself has to be genuine.
Right. You can't fake that.
Exactly. It's not just about saying you love art or working with kids.
So how do you show it?
It's about weaving that enthusiasm into your answer.
So it's about telling stories.
Exactly.
Sharing experiences.
To show your love for art and teaching.
Maybe a time when a student had a breakthrough
That's a good one.
or a project that sparked a really great discussion.
Those are perfect examples.
And it's not just about what happens in the classroom, right?
Nope. your passion can extend beyond that.
Okay.
Are you involved in any local art organizations?
Oh, yeah, good point.
Do you volunteer teaching art?
It all adds up.
It shows a deeper commitment
It paints a picture of someone who really lives and breathes art.
and wants to share that passion with others.
I love that. Okay, so before we jump back into those interview questions,
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on something else from RoleCatcher that I found super helpful.
What's that?
The career guides.
Oh, yeah, those are fantastic.
They're a goldmine of information.
For anyone, not just for interview prep.
Right. They talk about all sorts of different professions.
Mm-hmm. Industry trends, salary expectations, required skills.
Even potential career paths.
It's like a roadmap for your career.
It is. So what stood out to you in the Art Teacher Guide?
I was really drawn to the section on certifications
Okay.
and professional development opportunities.
Yeah.
It's a competitive field, so those extra credentials can really help you stand out.
It shows you're going the extra mile.
And I love that RoleCatcher doesn't just present the information.
Mm-hmm.
They give you actionable advice.
Okay, like what?
Networking strategies, portfolio building tips,
It's about going beyond just meeting the requirements.
and showing them you're committed to growth.
Now, before we get back to those interview questions,
Okay.
I got to ask about the AI-powered career compass.
Oh, yeah.
It sounds almost too good to be true.
It's pretty amazing.
So how does it work?
Well, it's designed to help you explore different career paths
Okay.
and find potential matches based on your skills and interests.
So it's not just about finding a job, it's about finding the right job.
Exactly the one that fits your passions and goals.
And then it suggests personalized learning pathways.
Yeah, to help you develop the skills you need.
Wow, so it's like having your own personal roadmap.
Exactly. And it's not a one-time thing.
Okay.
As you learn and grow, the compass adjusts its recommendations.
So it keeps up with you.
Mm-hmm. It's
Yeah.
like having a career advisor in your pocket.
I love that. Okay, let's get back to those interview questions.
Feels good.
We were talking about cultural sensitivity.
Right.
Are there any other questions where knowing the school's values would be helpful?
Oh, absolutely. Think about that question about creating a positive and engaging classroom environment.
Okay.
Yes, it's about setting expectations and managing behavior,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also about understanding the school's culture.
Yeah.
And how they define a thriving learning environment.
So it's about aligning your style with their philosophy.
Yep, exactly. Do your research beforehand.
Okay.
See what their approach to education is.
Like what kind of things should you look for?
Do they emphasize collaboration, creativity, critical thinking?
Tailor your answers to show how you fit in,
It's about demonstrating that you want to be part of their community.
not just any school.
Right. And speaking of community,
Yeah?
remember that question about interdisciplinary learning?
Mm-hmm.
That's another area where understanding the school's culture can help.
Okay.
Do they have a strong focus on interdisciplinary studies?
Oh, good point.
Have they implemented any innovative programs?
So highlight those connections in your answers.
It shows you've done your homework.
And that you're eager to contribute.
Right. It's not just about your own ideas.
It's about collaborating and learning from them.
Exactly. Okay, now, I know we've been focusing on the content of your answers,
Mm-hmm.
but let's not forget about first impressions.
Oh, yeah, those are crucial.
What are some practical tips for the interview itself?
Well, the basics are always important.
Like what?
Dress professionally,
Okay.
arrive on time,
Mm-hmm.
greet them with a firm handshake and a warm smile.
It shows respect.
And during the interview, make eye contact.
Okay.
Listen attentively.
Mm-hmm.
Be enthusiastic.
Engage.
Be present.
Don't just rattle off rehearsed answers.
Right, it's a conversation.
And don't be afraid to take a moment to think.
Yeah, it's better to pause than to stumble over your words.
Exactly, and try to relax.
Easier said than done.
I know, but they want to see your personality.
Not just a list of qualifications.
And at the end of the interview,
Yeah.
thank them for their time.
Okay.
Reiterate your interest in the position and ask about the next steps.
It's all about ending on a positive note.
Now, before we wrap up,
Okay.
I want to mention one more feature of RoleCatcher,
Okay. What is it?
their employer database.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about that.
It's a goldmine.
What kind of stuff can you find there?
Well, they've compiled data on millions of employers
Wow.
worldwide,
Okay.
offering insights into their culture, values, hiring practices.
Even salary ranges?
It's incredibly helpful for targeting your applications.
So you can find companies that align with your values.
Exactly. Much more efficient than just sending out resumes randomly.
It's about being proactive.
Finding companies you'd actually be excited to work for.
I love that. And remember, the job search can be tough,
It can be.
but it's also an opportunity for growth.
Definitely.
It takes time and effort.
And perseverance.
But with the right tools, You can do it.
And RoleCatcher is a powerful tool.
It really is.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who's feeling overwhelmed by the whole process?
Especially in a field like art education, I think it's important to remember that everyone's journey is different.
Yeah.
There are going to be ups and downs, moments of doubt,
For sure.
maybe even some rejections along the way.
That's part of it.
But you got to stay focused on your goals.
Keep learning.
Never give up on your passion.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
I love that. And sometimes it's about knowing when to ask for help.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
You don't have to go through this alone.
So where can people find support?
RoleCatcher actually has some great community forums.
Oh, cool.
You can connect with other job seekers,
Yep.
share experiences, find encouragement.
It's a good reminder that you're not alone.
Everyone's going through similar challenges.
And celebrating victories.
And remember, every interview is a learning experience.
Even if you don't get the job.
Exactly. You're gaining valuable practice.
Refining your skills.
Getting a better sense of what they're looking for.
It's a chance to grow.
So shift your perspective.
Yeah. Don't see it as pass or fail.
It's an opportunity.
I like that. Okay, so we've talked a lot about content, but how do you really stand out in an interview?
You got to showcase your unique strengths and experiences.
Without trying to be someone you're not.
Right. Be authentic.
So how do you do that when you're nervous?
Think about the moments that have shaped you as an educator.
Okay.
The experiences that fueled your passion.
Like what?
Maybe a mentor who inspired you,
Okay.
a student who had a breakthrough, or even a personal project.
Those are the stories that make you memorable.
Yeah, bring your answers to life.
And it doesn't have to be some big dramatic event.
Sometimes the small moments are the most powerful.
Okay, give me an example.
Maybe you talk about the joy of watching a student discover something new,
Oh, yeah.
or seeing a hesitant learner find their voice.
That's what it's all about.
Those are the moments that remind us why we do this.
It's the heart of teaching.
And when you share those stories authentically...
It makes a connection.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with one final piece of advice.
Okay, I'm listening.
Be genuine.
Be yourself.
Let your passion shine through.
It's not just about saying the right words.
It's about conveying your enthusiasm,
Your dedication
your belief in the power of art.
to transform lives.
They're looking for someone who will inspire.
And nurture young minds.
So go into that interview with confidence.
Knowing you have what it takes.
And remember, RoleCatcher is here to support you.
Every step of the way.
Here's a final thought for you.
Okay.
How do you envision using art to address a contemporary social issue in your classroom?
Ooh, that's a good one.
It shows you're thinking deeply about your impact.
And the role of art in the world.
Good luck, you got this.
You got this.